Hello, everybody. How is it going? Welcome back to Too Fast 2 Duelists. I'm here with my lovely co-host Dakota. How are you doing today, sir?
I think I'm getting sick, but I'm here. I'm gonna prosper, and I'm ready to play some Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right, me too. So we are starting off here with a humble ask. We are a small channel, so we do ask that you please, if you would, leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Especially comments. We do look for engagement in the comments. Whenever we see them, we do try our best to respond to them in a timely manner. And, you know, just have a discourse, whether it's about some misplays you saw, some things you liked in the episode, or some ideas you have for the future. Just leave it down there, and we'll get back to you.
Also, we're trying to reach our current goal of 100 subscribers, so help us out a lot if you can. All you current subscribers, tell your friends, tell your family. We want to get to 100.
Door to door, Jehovah's Witness that shit. You even want to talk about our Lord and Savior Slifer the Sky Dragon?
Oh my god, dude.
Actually, for me, I guess it'd be Obelisk. He's the only one I got to win with.
I was gonna say, that's when you open up the door and they're just like, no, I actually worship the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Yeah. No, we are a Satan house. Thank you.
Get out from my yard, you Slifer slacker.
Yeah, Slifer Red. Ew. Does it think there's racism in Yu-Gi-Oh GX? We see colors. Like, these inferior Slifer Reds over here. I think they can sit at the table with us Obelisk Blues.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's even more racism though in 5Ds.
Oh, okay. I heard that anime is good, but never watched it.
I feel like I already missed the mark for it. I did try to watch it like earlier this year or sometime last year, and I think I just aged out.
Okay. Well, with all that being said, what this series is, if you're curious or if you haven't been here before, this is a Speed Duel series where we have a giant wheel that contains all of the skills in Speed Duel currently available, including the new ones from their fresh release. We each spin the wheel one time, and we take that skill and have 20 minutes to build a deck around it. And at the end of those 20 minutes, we come together for a match best 2 out of 3 and see who built the better deck or who got screwed over harder by their skill.
Correct!
That was a beautiful intro.
Yes. With all that out of the way now, Dakota, shall we spin?
I am spinning the wheel. Please be something good. Okay, what is this? Magnetic attraction. Oh man, I'm playing with some magnets.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
This is gonna be like
skill?
Yeah, this is gonna be like beta and whatever the other ones were, gamma.
Yeah, it's Magnet Warriors. I like the artwork though. Magnetic attraction is a Yami Yugi skill. For skill activation, flip this card over when you activate this skill. For the effects, apply the following skills. Number 1, when a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster is normal summoned, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster with a different name from deck to hand. And 2, you can reveal 2 level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monsters with different names from your hand, and if you do, add 1 Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior from deck to hand. Each of these skills can only be used once per duel. Valkyrian Turbo?
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't sound too bad. Valkyrian is a guy with some pretty big stats. I don't think that he really has a effect that's worth talking about, really.
And if you wanted to, you could go with the full Yugi package. You could run Slifer here. Disassemble Valkyrie and get your 3 magnets to replace Slifer.
Depends on what other support cards that they have, because I know in terms of the TCG, they do have some pretty good cards. They have like a pretty decent field spell. I think they even have like a continuous spell.
Is Delta in Speed Duel?
I'm not sure. So yeah, it depends on if they do have like some of the newer Magnet Warriors, and if they also have the semi-newer-ish support spells and traps, then yeah, this could be a pretty good skill.
Yeah, I've actually never seen someone play Magnet Warriors, so this would be interesting to watch.
All right, buddy. Well, you are next.
Time for me
to get screwed.
No mirror match today.
Fog warning. Yeah, you might have been screwed here.
Is that like fog monsters and fog counters and stuff?
Yes, it is.
Fog warning, you said?
Yep.
I keep getting these people, I have no idea who they are. Ew, Adrian. Okay. So fog warning is an Adrian skill. At the start of the duel, flip this card over. For the effect, each time you place a fog counter or counters on a monster, give it an additional fog counter. Super simple skill.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh.
That is it. Every time I add a fog counter or counters to a monster, I can give it an additional one. But only one. We're stingy here.
So
you get 1/4 portion.
Yeah, that it does sound very lackluster.
I know we have fogs in Revision, but I've never used them. I had never planned to use them. I don't know what they do.
Like pretty much they can't be destroyed by battle, but they are forced to stay in attack mode because if they ever go to defense, they kill themselves. But yeah,
Okay.
they just gain advantage. It's kind of like a control strategy where you gain more advantage the more fog counters that you accumulate.
Okay.
And then they do have like some bigger statted guys. Typically like the normal summon guys, they're all really weak, but they do have like some bigger guys that you can tribute, and they actually do give you like pluses for having those fog counters.
I have to learn an entire archetype in less than 20 minutes and build a deck around it.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so yeah, we have Yugi versus Adrian.
Yo, Adrian.
What up?
Hey, Monster Gato.
Well, buddy, you ready for the timer?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we're back after 20 minutes, and I gotta tell you, somebody is on cloud 9 today, but it ain't me. So, as you know, with the seal cards, we're playing Cloudians today. I had never played this archetype before. I had never really read these cards before. So I basically went right to the limit, all 20 minutes except for like maybe 30 seconds of it. So all the Cloudian monsters basically have the same effect to start off with. They cannot be destroyed by battle, and if it's in the face-up defense position, it gets destroyed. Most of them, like this one, have an effect where once they're normal summoned, I can put a fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster on the field, and then I can remove 2 fog counters from this card in particular to target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Then I have 2 copies of Altus, which has the same starting effects. Its special one is I can remove 3 fog counters from anywhere on the field and discard 1 random card from my opponent's hand. Very nice. Stratus, a pretty good starter here, especially when going second. Same effects to start. Put a fog counter on it when it's summoned for each monster in the field, and then I can remove 2 fog counters from this card to target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. The boss monster of the deck, so pretty much the main one anyway, I have Cody and I of the Typhoon. So this cannot be destroyed by battle, and if it is in defense position, it gets destroyed just like the other ones. If this card declares an attack, however, change the battle positions of all face-up monsters except Cloudians. So if Dakota's playing defensively with some low monsters, get him into attack mode and get some damage in there. Another monster that has the capability of being a boss monster is Cloudian Nimbus Man. So again, cannot be destroyed by battle, defense position, it's destroyed, and then I can tribute any number of water monsters for the tribute summon of this card. If this card is tribute summoned, put a fog counter on it for each water monster you tributed, and then it gains 500 attack for each fog counter on the field. This boy has the potential to get big. Lastly, for the monsters here, I have Cloudian Storm Dragon, 1 copy. He is required to be special summoned from my hand by banishing a Cloudian monster from the graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Defense position, it's destroyed. Once per turn, I can target a face-up monster of the field and place a fog counter on it. So with the skill card, that becomes 2. 3 copies of Cloudian Aerosol next, so I can discard a Cloudian monster to target a monster on the field and put fog counters on it equal to its level. And then I can banish this card and a Cloudian monster from the graveyard to special summon a Cloudian from the deck. Pretty good access to any monster I want there if I can use that properly. Next up is a continuous spell, Cloudian Squall. Once per turn during my standby phase, put a fog counter on each face-up monster on the field. And again, with my skill, that becomes 2. Book of Moon next to stop some attacks or troublesome summons from Dakota. 2 copies of Galaxy Cyclone for backrow removal. 2 Raging Cloudians now. So if a Cloudian is destroyed by its own card effect and sent to the graveyard, I can target one of them, special summon it in attack position, and if I do, it not only gets a fog counter, but it also cannot be changed to defense position by card effect. So if Dakota's being cheeky and playing like stop attack or something like that, he can no longer use that. Next up is Wabaku, just to basically make the battle phase invalid, essentially. I won't take battle damage and monsters cannot be destroyed. And lastly, I have 1 copy of Wall of Disruption. So if he declares an attack, all attack position monsters he controls will lose 800 attack for each monster he controls. Moving to the side deck, I have 2 copies of Foolish Burial. This is a good way for me to get a Cloudian into the graveyard to utilize the effect of Cloudian Aerosol. 3 copies of Waking the Dragon. You know, you got to do it. You know, the Pandora's box has been opened now, but I am playing it a little differently than Dakota. I know Dakota has been playing it with offensive purposes. I utilized a defensive purpose. We'll go through Zoma right now. You know Zoma. He's been here before. Ojama King, 3 copies. So I decided not to go for the offensive strategy. I decided to go for the defensive. So he's not only a big defensive wall at 3k, but when he's summoned, I can choose up to 3 of my opponent's unused monster zones, and they cannot be used as long as he's on the field. So if somehow Dakota has an empty field, he's screwed until he can out Ojama King with back row, if he can even. So that's my deck. It's just Cloudian. I don't know what else you want to say about it, but let's get out there and let's rain on these fools.
All right, guys, we're back after 20 minutes, and just like the skill card said, we're playing Magnet. So we don't have all the current Magnet Warrior stuff. There's like additional cards that are available in the TCG that we don't have access to, but they at least gave us Delta, which is a semi-newer one. So to start things off, we have Delta on normal or special. He sends a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from deck to grave. If he is sent to the graveyard, I can banish 3 level 4 Magnet Warriors from the graveyard, and then I can special summon a Valkyrion from the deck, ignoring his summoning condition. For the vanillas, we have 2 beta, 2 alpha, and 2 gamma. These are pretty much mandatory in order to summon out the Valkyrion. Not only that, but I also get bonus effects from the skill card for having these cards in the deck. Finally, we have Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. So this guy might as well just be a vanilla. The first line of text just shows that he has to be summoned by attributing the gamma, alpha, and beta. His second effect is that he can just, get rid of himself and special summon the 3 vanillas back from the field. I don't really know why that would ever come up, but if I do get him out to the field, he has 3500 attack, which is pretty good. 3 copies of the field spell, Magnetic Field. So this card is actually very good for an archetype like this. If I control a level 4 or lower earth monster or earth rock monster, I can target a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from the graveyard and special summon it. It also has the effect that at the end of the damage step, if a earth rock monster I control battled and the opponent's monster did not die, it just bounces it to the hand. So this is actually very interesting that we landed on the skill cards that we did today. Him playing Cloudians, all of them have the effects where they can't be destroyed by battle. So if I can't destroy them by battle, if I have access to this card, I can just bounce them. Also, the first effect is actually quite relevant as well, because the moment that I normal summon the Delta, I can now use the field spell to revive whatever it is that I dumped to the graveyard. We're playing 3 copies of Bashing Shield. This is because I know he's playing Cloudians, and they're all puny. They can't be destroyed by battle, but even if they can't be destroyed by battle, as long as I get the damage in, which this card will buff a normal summon monster by 1000, I'm definitely getting damage in. 1 Offerings of the Doom, just because if he does somehow gain advantage with his Cloudians and he is able to get one of the bigger Cloudians onto the field, I need an answer to that card right away. And 3 Dust Tornado. I am hesitant to play back row removal because of Waking the Dragon. However, I know that he has to play some of the Cloudian support cards. So they have like a couple of continuous spells and trap cards as well. So the moment that he tries to activate one of them, I can just out them right away. For the side deck, we had to do it. Waking the Dragon, it's returning. It's quite interesting ever since I decided to play this card, to where now me and Cody have to play the game, probably for now on, very differently. But Waking the Dragon, the moment that he sees that I'm playing back row cards, whether it's the field spell or the Bashing Shield or even the set cards being Dust Tornado or Offerings, he might side into back row removal and he could run into this again. Finally, 3 copies of DD Warrior Lady. This is in case if I do actually need to out the body and I don't have the field spell, I can still attack into it, get some damage in, and then banish the Cloudian monster instead. For the extra deck, we're playing the Waking the Dragon targets with 3 Cyber End and 3 Arcana Knight Joker. So that's the deck. I think that this is actually a fairly decent strategy. I think the skill card having 2 separate effects are pretty good, especially like the first one. The first one being that if I normal summon the Delta, not only do I get to dump a body to the graveyard, but I also get a search. But I think that this is a fairly competent strategy, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this. So let's get into the games. All right, buddy, game 1. Here we are, Yugi versus Adrian.
It's pretty foggy outside too. It's pretty fitting.
Oh yeah, yep.
We're in a dense fog warning.
I'd imagine that this was quite a lot of reading for you.
Oh, good lord, yes.
Yeah.
I haven't gone up until the time in quite a while, and I pretty much had to here.
I'm vaguely know some of the Magnet Warrior stuff. I don't know it in great detail, so I also had to reread quite a few of these cards. The only reason why I've seen them in action is because like Master Duel, they're used sometimes with like Adamanticators, with everything being a rock. Yeah, this was not easy. I'm pretty sure this came down to the timer going off for both of us.
Yeah, I said I was done with probably like, I imagine like 10 seconds left because you said it after me and it was like 2 seconds later the time went off.
Yeah, it was like the moment that I hit save deck, it went off.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be something. Ooh, switching it up.
No rock today.
I should have done rock with playing rocks.
Magnetic. I'm gonna go first.
All right, taking the setup.
I am.
25 cards.
Yes, sir. Let's start with a set. Let's activate Cloudian Squall. Next, I'm going to activate Cloudian Acid Cloud. Or sorry, not activate, summon Cloudian Acid Cloud. On normal summon, he gets 1 counter. Thanks to my skill, he now has 2. Unfortunately, that's about all I can do this turn. Over to you.
All right, I will draw. We'll go standby to main. Let's start things off, and I will activate my skill.
Already? Okay. I assume it's, well, it could be either one, actually.
Let's go ahead, and I will activate my field spell. Next, I will normal summon Delta and activate the effect. I will then also trigger the skill where
Whoa.
I can now add a Magnet Warrior. We'll go ahead and we will add Gamma.
Ooh.
And from Delta, I will send Beta. All right, from here, I will use the effect of my field spell. Because I have a level 4, I can pretty much reborn Beta. Let's go ahead and I will then activate Bashing Shield, equipping it to Beta.
It gains 1000 attack. You take no battle damage from attacks involving it. That's on beta, you said?
On Beta, yes. It needs to be.
Okay, so beta's,
yeah.
So beta's at 2700.
What do I want to do here? Let's go ahead and I will set 1 and I will set 2.
Bloom Blood Glitch.
Yes. Okay.
There we go. Wow, you filled up your whole board pretty much in one turn.
I will go battle phase and I will attack with Beta.
Okay, I am going to use Waboku.
Ooh, okay. So he can't die, but
he will get bounced.
I will use the field spell to bounce him.
Yes.
With that, this doesn't go back down, right? The skill card. No, it doesn't. I can just keep it face up.
Yeah, but you only have the reveal 2 left now.
Right. That will be my turn.
Okay. Standby to main. I cannot use Cloudian Squall because I don't. Actually, I can. Your monsters get Cloudian encounters then.
What I will do is I will.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because it's all monsters. On the trigger of that, I will dust the spell.
Cool. I'm going to activate Galaxy Cyclone, targeting your set.
That is fine. Okay.
Ooh, all right. Tell you what I want, whatever they really want.
Well, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I wanna a normal summon Acid Cloud. So he'll get his 2 counters.
Correct.
And then I will declare his effect, targeting your field spell.
Okay.
Over to you.
All right, standby to main. I will use my second effect of the skill.
Okay, so you have 2 level 4s in your hand.
I reveal Beta, and you know I have Gamma. We will get my search on.
You're gonna add Valkyrian.
I will add the Valkyrion. If I attack, you'll take 22, 16. Oh, so this is just like game, right?
Is it? 20. If you summon a monster, yeah, it's probably game.
Let me just double math again here. So it'll be 22, 11. So that's 30, over 3,000. So I just need to do another 1,000 plus or whatever.
Yeah. And you have Beta, so
yeah, normal. Go battle.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Game 2.
Game 2.
What's it gonna be? You gonna take the setup?
I'm gonna risk it.
All right.
I'll take the card.
Hopefully it pays off. All right, we'll go standby to main. I'm gonna activate the skill. Let's go ahead and normal summon Delta and use both effects.
This looks very familiar. Both effects. Holy shit.
Yep. So I will go ahead and I will dump a beta, and I will search alpha, beta,
Gamma.
I set 1, I set 2. Back to you.
Okay.
Let's rock
Stand by
it.
No, let's rock it. Stand by the main.
Yep.
I've got a set. I've got a set. I've got a set.
All right.
I have a normal summon with my 2 tokens.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and use them.
What's the target?
Targeting this one in the middle.
I'll chain it, and we'll go for the middle one, I guess.
All right.
What was this?
Okay. With that, I shall end my turn.
Okay. Standby to main.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and we will normal summon the Gamma. Let's go ahead and activate Bashing Shield, equipping to Gamma.
This looks familiar.
And we will go ahead
2,500.
2,500. Battle phase. Swing in.
I have la beaucoup.
Of course you do.
Yeah. How does that feel?
I will pass the turn.
Standby to main.
Sure.
I have a set. I have a pass.
Okay. Standby to main.
Fine.
I'm just going to go straight to battle. Attempt again.
I'll be 2.
11. Okay. Back to you.
I'll just sack off
Whoa.
for. Oh no, I don't have to. I thought it was a 5-star. Never mind. Back to the field with you. And I might as well just use all 3 to make you discard a random card.
Okay. I will shuffle.
Bingo.
Damn, that was my alpha.
Oh no. I'm going to go to end phase.
Okay. Standby to main. Battle. Swing. Oh, okay. All right. What were these? Aha.
That was a side.
I can't blame you. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, I got the ultimate test hand for this deck when I did my first test hand right before you were done.
Yeah.
And then both hands I drew were way shittier than that fucking hand.
I'm curious on if, well, it depends on what else you have in your deck. What else you got? Okay.
So basically, yeah, so all the Cloudians, I have 3 Cirrus Stratus that pops a monster. The boss monster, Eye of the Typhoon. Yeah, if it declares an attack, I can change all battle positions except Cloudians. Storm Dragon has to be special summoned by banishing Cloudian from graveyard, and I can target a face-up monster in the field and put a counter on it. Atlas, it discards a random card. Acid Cloud gets rid of back row. And Nimbus Man, put a fog counter for each water monster I attributed for it. And then it gains 500 attack for each fog counter on the field. So it's kind of a beater in that sense.
Nimbus Man can actually just win you the game.
If I have enough counters, yeah.
Well, that's the thing though, because playing the Cloudian Squall, that's just guaranteed counters every single time.
It's 2 counters every time for each monster.
Yeah, so that's why I think
that would be an instant. Even if it's just Nimbus Man, that's an extra 1,000 attack per turn.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, because yeah, he doesn't have protection, but neither does Typhoon, and this guy only requires the 1 tribute.
So Raging Cloudian was one to recycle 1 and give it protection, because I didn't know if you were gonna play cards that make my monsters go into defense. It'd be cheeky like that.
I thought about it.
Book of Moon to stop monsters, Wabaku to stop attacks. I had Wall of Disruption to also stop attacks from maybe happening. Cloudian Aerosol I thought was a pretty good card. I have 3 of that. Let's me discard a Cloudian, target a face-up monster in the field, place fog counters equal to its level, and then I can banish Aerosol, and a Cloudian from the graveyard, especially summon a Cloudian from deck.
Book would have probably been a pretty good card in this matchup just because, one, it lets you not have to take an attack to not take damage, but also because of game one, you saw that I was playing an equipped spell. So like being able to book the card, like then the spell would just fall off.
Yeah, but unfortunately I did not draw what I needed when I needed it, which is probably a symptom of 25 cards. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think like for a deck like this, resources are pretty tight because you want to have, you know, probably access to at least one of the Cloudian cards, maybe one of the spells and traps to help support it, and then you probably just want like the rest of it to be generic stuff to help with the game state.
You, on the other hand,
Me, on the other hand,
Dust Tornado, your Magnum Warriors, your field spell. Yeah, I think the only thing that really stuck out to me out of your deck was Bashing Shield, and I guess Dust Tornado. Those are the only things that really stick out to me, is like things I didn't expect.
I think like on any other episode, I probably would still be avoiding the back row removal, but I know that your deck requires you to have like certain spells and traps to help support the rest of the archetype. So I don't feel like I need to blindly hit set cards. I can just hit the, like I did in game one, hit the continuous spell.
Yeah, you know what I chose for waking the dragon targets this time?
Something ridiculous.
A little cheeky.
Lock
your board down, baby.
Yeah. I mean, even if he doesn't lock the zones up, you can at least lock like one or two of the zones if I'm using one of them or whatever. But
that was the hope. Like if you had, like, let's say Valkyrian on the field, you got a boss, then I got a wall that won't stop it, but I can lock down some of your monsters, and then if I can get rid of Valkyrian, you're stuck with only one space.
Well, not only that, but like obviously you couldn't know going into it, but after game one, then you would have been able to know that even with the equip spell, it's not enough to out this guy. Like it's Valkyrion or bust. Yeah,
so I thought Ojama was a good set. Once I saw you were playing back removal, I was like, oh, I'm gonna side Waking the Dragon in.
Yeah.
And you had a shot to hit it, but you missed it. I think there's some potential for these cards in Speed Duel, but it would depend on the matchup, really.
It takes more than 20 minutes to build a deck around a strategy like this.
Especially when you have no idea what the fuck you're looking at.
Yeah.
Going into that 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help that they have archetypal cards that don't have Cloudian in it. With a deck like this, we know that Konami likes to go back to older cards and update them with newer cards so that they're able to be played in a modern format. But with a deck like this, like I think some of these spells and traps could continue to see play. But I think it's honestly quite a few monsters that they would have to print to make this very effective strategy.
Yeah.
Like maybe Nimbus Man is fine on its own, but they probably just really need a monster that is just able to get multiple bodies on the field, get rid of this like normal summon effect. Like it should just be on normal or special, honestly.
When this card is summoned.
Yeah, and then like they probably just need like maybe like a continuous spell that just gives them a lot of easy access to putting fall counters on cards. Like an updated Cloudian Squall where it's like it only happens during your standby phase, so like going first or second, it doesn't matter. You're still never getting the advantage from this card when the moment that you play it.
Do Cloudians have a field spell?
I don't think so.
What if you did a field spell where kind of like the one Lightsworns have, where it's like you can put fall counters on the field spell, and every time a Cloudian monster would be destroyed by card effect or something like that, you could remove like 2 to 3 fog counters and protect it.
It would have to be like a field spell that has to be really just broken for the archetype. It would have to be like on activation, it searches for you. It like gets counters put it on, like it actually puts counters on itself to like keep it protected or like your cards protected.
Yeah.
And then it would probably need like a third line of text to gain you additional effects depending on the counters. I mean, if they can print that Rainbow Coliseum card that has all those lines of text on it, like I think that they could do something similar with Cloudians where it's just like depending on how many counters are on the board, you get to do such and such.
Yeah. If they can print pendulum cards that have 2 different effect boxes on them.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to bring it into this episode. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. We want to see you guys' feedback. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button. Again, we're trying to reach our current goal of 100 subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your family. Cody, last words.
Yep. Sometimes when people say that you're a daydreamer, you should maybe get your head out of the clouds and come back to reality.
And the reality is
Magnetism.
how do magnets work?
Science. Hey, get a Jim Toohey. Science. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Wait.
Have you ever wondered how a magnet works? Magnets have these electrons that sort of work like miniature magnets. And when they're all aligned in the same direction, it creates a magnetic field that interacts with other magnets. This field is strongest around the ends,